Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Mercury today, this morning. Drank a little coffee. If you've been keeping up with my streams, you notice that we, not necessarily my streams, but my videos, I'll say, that first of the year we pulled the body off, painted the bottom of the car. Then I had a video about that and the paint underneath of it and all that good stuff. You can check that out on my channel. Also did a video which was a collage of pictures with the frame out in the yard getting sandblasted, and painted. And since then I've done some of the reassembly on it. Got the new ball joints in, new tie rods, new rack, which I'm still waiting on the bushings that hold the rack to the frame down here. They're supposed to be on their way. Got some shocks for the front and rear on the way. We got also we got sway bar end links on the way. But we've already got upper and lower control arm bushings in. Upper and lower ball joints are in. We got the brakes back on and rebled. Got the limited slip 300 gear in the housing, put back together, fresh grease in there. Started modifying some of the rear bumper bolts set in a concave, and they sell special 50 Mercury bumper bolts, but they're like $60 for a pair of them. So I'm working over some carriage bolts for those bumpers, and for those particular ones that set in that concave. I'm working over some carriage bolts, and then I got a nickel plating set up. I'm gonna plate those and polish those out rather than spend a couple $100 on a handful of bolts. I've got the call out on a Facebook page now. Needing a engine stand I can borrow. I mean, I could go buy one, but I'm gonna use it, and then I haven't needed one in years anyway, so I'd just rather borrow one if somebody around's got one. Otherwise I'll go down and purchase one. But I need to disassemble the 460, freshen it up. Coffee drinking going on. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I think we're still streaming. I put the yesterday I put these tires and wheels back on. I cleaned them up a little bit. They're just some rollers I was practicing grinding white walls and whatnot on. I put this thing back together yesterday where I could roll it around. And I was just going to roll it forward to sweep up where the chassis was sitting. I rolled it up here. Of course, I've been tinkering with the brakes, adjusting the pedal and all that. And it acted like something was hanging up in the rear end, and I was prepared to pull the center housing back out. Thought maybe I had left a nut or a bolt in the damn housing or something. Before I got so far as to pull the rear end out, I was pulling the brake drums off on the back, and when I sprayed the paint on the brake drums, I guess I got some paint in there. And with my tinkering with the brakes and spinning the wheels and rolling it and pushing on the brake pedal, it had taken that overspray and rolled it up, balled it up, turned it into a piece of gummy fucking crap, and it got on the brake shoe, and of course when you were pulling forward it would snag the brake shoe. But I polished the inside of the drum back up with some sandpaper and got the residual paint off the edge of the shoe. I had replaced those shoes some time ago, and all it needed was just to clean that old gooey, gummy paint up. Some kind of boogery substance on there, you know. It's just that paint balling up on there, I suppose. Hopefully I'm gonna pop the engine apart, flip it over, and check the bearings on it. This motor was supposed to be, this was a long time ago. I pulled this motor out of a low mileage station wagon. I want to put the early timing chain in it. There's a little degree difference on them 429, 460 early timing chains. Would give you a few more horsepower. I think it's 73 and before. I was always told 69, 429 timing chain, but I think anything 72 and before was the timing chain has got a little different degree to it. And I was reading yesterday, it was like 72 and before 460 has 360 horsepower and 400 and something foot-pounds of torque. They are torque monsters. Hey, Nick, glad to see you, buddy. They are torque monsters. I'm going to put the mildest cam in it. There's two of them that Summit's got that are really mild without doing a lot of modification to the upper valve train. It's not really worthwhile to put a real radical cam in it without doing valve train work, head work, port work, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna just put the mild cam in it, and like I said, this thing is not really hurt. Hey Nick, we're gonna flip it over, and like I said, plastic gauge bearings. Probably end up putting a re-ring kit in it. You can get a re-ring kit for the thing just over a couple $100. Give you all the gaskets and seals, and providing everything's still as good as it was supposed to be as when I bought the damn thing. It's a fairly clean engine, and I do remember the car being low mileage. I was thinking in the 70,000 mile range on this old car when we disassembled it. And the same with the transmission. I'm gonna freshen it up. I got the calls out for an engine stand now. Maybe somebody will get me an engine stand nearby, and I can take this thing apart today. But I don't want to get too far into the engine because I've still got about a half a day's work putting shocks and bushings and whatnot in this chassis. I'm really excited about the thing. Ready to get it running again. It's been a long time since I had that thing all put together. I've never run it with exhaust on it since I had it in the car. I did run it up and down the road with open headers once, but I think I might start taking some of the peripherals off the 460 today. Fan, water pump. Even you do the couple $100 for the re-ring kit. You got another 100 and a little over $100 in that one of those cams I spoke about. And peripherals, water pump. Probably put a new oil pump in it. wherever else I come across there. So you can figure $400 or $500 pretty quick, just to do the basic that I want to do. But we've come a long way in the last couple of years. Looks like Nick keeps popping in and out. I don't know if we're having stream trouble. Very bad connection. Okay. My apologies. Got the damn tablet sitting over here on a metal shelf, and it tends to zap the Wi-Fi. I do need to order a radiator. I haven't. I will probably have to hog out the front clip. Radiator's going to sit right between two interfender wells. And I'm thinking if I can dish these back a little bit on each side where the tanks will set outside of the opening. That way my opening covers all the core. Get as much cooling as I can. I'll give me one of those aluminum radiators, painted black. They dissipate heat really well. Don't think I'll have any trouble with this thing heating, but I'm going to do the best I can to keep it from heating up. Taking my second cup of Java down. Stove's been going for about an hour now. We're almost 60 degrees out here. It's going to be a beautiful day. I might do some things outside if I can't get a whole lot done here. Some of my packages may arrive even though it's Sunday. Kind of odd. I'll be watching for the mail truck. But got this thing back together just enough that I can roll it out of the way. But I'm not going to set the body back on, because it's so easy just to drop the motor in with the transmission on it from the top, rather than trying to fish it down in there and scratch my paint up. So I'm just going to leave the frame, body off the frame for now, until I get to 460 freshened up. There's a ton of small things I got to do as I go back together. We'll make sure my exhaust is indexed right, twisted up correctly. There's, the possibility of it being rotated a little bit, but I think with the motor set back in there, I want to check the front end alignment. I've basically got it real close where it's at, but until I load that front end with the engine and transmission, I can't get an accurate camber, so I'll recheck that. And then of course when I get my bushings for the rack, I'll set the toe in. I think other than that, I've got new motor mounts, new transmission mounts. I'm gonna wait till the last minute to put a set of tires on it. I will probably just buy some radial tires and grind the white walls like I did these. Go around it and grind them, open it up. Some of them you can get 2.5, 2.25 white wall by grinding the black back and exposing exposing it. They do make some bias ply or radial tires that look like bias ply. I'm pretty sure I have over $1,000 in 4 tires, and I'm kind of a budget-minded guy, aka cheap. I can buy a set of tires for $500, grind the white walls on them. I can save some funds, put it elsewhere. Kind of like the motor stand. I go down to Harbor Freight and buy one for $65 with tax, $66 or something. But I'm gonna use this thing for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and then I won't have any use for it. I did look on Craigslist. There's a nice one on there for $25, but it's about an hour and a half away. So, what do? I'd rather put $60 into an oil pump or an engine part if I can find a loaner stand. And I'm sure in my group of friends, somebody sees a post, they'll come across with one. I haven't purchased any of my interior pieces yet. I'm going to try to do my own seat covers and door panels. I haven't bought any of that stuff yet. When I get all the chassis work done, set this thing back on the frame, I'm going to next stop will be the windshield and glass work. I have to be able to close that passenger compartment up before I start putting white interior inside. And I want most of my mechanic work, basically all my mechanical work done. I will be finishing the body after the glass is in. Paint the cowl there. I could work on that probably today. I just hate to pull all the nuts and bolts out of the engine and stuff and have them laying around until I get this chassis back. I feel like too many things are apart. Too many things are from together, however you want to look at it. But it's kind of hard to. I can understand those guys watching the old TV shows there in those high production shops. What the aggravation they must have to go through, scheduling, and they're trying to meet deadlines for these high-end cars. One thing getting delayed a couple of days or a week, whatnot, will really throw you off. I don't have that problem. I'm pretty much a one-man show here. I do everything myself. Other than occasionally I ask a friend to help me hold a bolt or hold a wrench or lift something. But other than that, I do it all myself. I'm terrible about that even with my daily drivers. I had to get my town car inspected in December, safety inspection. Here in Missouri, we got a safety inspection before you can get your tags renewed. And I stopped at a shop on the way home. I don't know if I've ever done business with the fella, but I've heard good things about him. And I walked in there and I said, I've got tomorrow off. It's Friday. I said, I was wondering about getting my car inspected. Is there some time I could bring it by and y'all could bring it in and inspect it and get back to me, He says, no. He says, you just have to drop it off here in the morning, and if we get time during the day, we'll bring it in and inspect it and take it back out. And I wasn't for that, For one thing, she was working that day. I would have had to get a ride over there, get a ride back over there to pick it up. And I wanted to also get my license purchased that day while I had the day off. So it was either I could go over there and sit in the parking lot the whole day, or find somewhere else to do it. Went right up the road, and there was another shop there, and I asked them, and they said, actually I was on my way over there, and I stopped in there and said, hey, could you do a state inspection? Oh yeah, we could probably squeeze you in about 15-20 minutes. So I sit down in the waiting room there and let him do it. And the other guy, he lost out because it's a state inspection. It takes 15 minutes. You pull a wheel, you check the brakes, check the wipers, check the horn, check all the lights. And my car's in pretty good shape. It didn't need a darn thing. They got it inspected, and I went down and got my tag, you know. What I'm going to do today is I don't know what I'm going to do today. I really like to pull some of that shit off that motor, but again, I just hate scattering the thing out in so many pieces. I feel better about having the chassis back together. And I always think, it's weird, I don't know if you guys think this way, but I think, so what happens if I got all this shit taken apart and something happens to me? What are they going to do with that mess, you know? They ain't worth fuck. They ain't worth nothing. It's car parts. At least if the thing's all together, rolling, you can push it out in the driveway. Just bring more at the auction, you know what I mean? It's a silly way to think, but I don't know, I think that way. Put all those new bushings in the front end here, and I remember being able to press that a little bit. Can't compress that at all. Same springs, just the new bushings made it that tight, I guess. We can see when I set the motor and transmission, it's going to squat it a little bit, but after I set the motor and tranny in there, I'll go back and roll it back and forth, jump up and down on it a little bit, settle it in, and then recheck my alignment. I think I'll be good. I did some work on a customer's car the other day. I put a couple of doors on this old Ford Explorer. Gotten a couple of speakers out of the doors, spare doors. I'll put those in the, I think I might put those in the Mercury. I got that Bluetooth device I'm gonna run off of there, but I'm starting to ramble. That's about all I know. If I start tearing into anything later, I'll bring up, maybe bring up the live stream, or at least take video of it and post up later. But I think I'm going to get off here for now. Check back later. Don't forget to subscribe and like my channel and my videos. Stay tuned, and I'll put some more content out. Get this coffee drink and see what we can get done today. Talk to y'all later.